Greetings, YouTube. It's Matt from the Grand Arcade. I'm back. We'll pick it up where we left off in the last one. We've got the Swathing Plus mod that is in the in-game mod hub. PC only, unfortunately. But it allows you to cut field grass, not meadow grass. If you have a grass that is, if you have grass that's actually field grass, like you have planted the grass in the field, you can cut that, you can cut clover, and you can cut alfalfa with the swath header. Plus you get a 20% yield bonus on the clover and the alfalfa. I don't think you do on the grass. Just something to keep in mind there. I'm doing this, old man is hauling alfalfa and clover and all kinds of stuff, getting our fermenting silos running again. This is the blue one. We've got clover in it right now running. That I do believe is the brown farm. That's the black farm, and then this is the red farm. It's got grass, it's got alfalfa, and it's got clover in it. And actually I need to turn that on. Get that grass side running too. Okay. And I'm just manually mowing this field just because the only way you can hire this out on this field is if you want to settle for the squiggly lines. I'm not a fan of squiggly lines, and I can't really modify the edge of the field when there's an update pending for the map. So I'm trying to hold off as long as I can. I'm probably going to get to some point where I'm going to be like, are we okay with it as the map is as is, or do we want to wait for the update? I kind of want to wait for the update to see what it entails. Might be something, we could kick ourselves for later if we don't wait for it and say, boy, I wish we had waited for that update. But yeah, I'm fine right now. I've got the itch that needs to be scratched, but it's not to the point where, I need, just can't, wait anymore. I'm getting there, but I'm not there yet. So for the time being, we're in the process of buying fields. We bought today. We bought 115. That's in soybeans. We bought 87, 97 maybe? 87. Bought that. That's in soybeans. We bought this one here. That is 107. You know what? That number is bigger when you click on it. I still can't see it. 97 maybe. Yeah, 97. I think that's a 9. 97. So that's what we bought so far, and then we bought the other barley fields. This one right here. So 89, that's in barley. All these are fully fertilized, by the way. They're ready to go. And then we bought this barley field down here. Number 16. So probably gonna buy some more here very shortly. We get these fermenting silos stocked up, and we'll have silage to sell in the coming days. Got a couple contracts out there to do before July ends. We might go to the end of July and see if we can get some silage to haul and sell. unfortunately, you can't cut meadow grass with this header. Alright. Need to stop by the fridge. Man, I was so tired Friday. This past week has been crazy. I was the number one, kind of the chief tech the whole week, because the girl that's normally the number one, she took a vacation, and I was telling them it was kind of like doing my job that I normally do, but also kind of like babysitting. Everybody that had a problem or an issue or something that needed to be resolved or something, they came to me. Normally they go to, you know, the chief tech, the number one. Even I do. Oh yeah. I will say, do what?
Those days are always fun.
Oh. I'll be glad she's back tomorrow. So I'll be glad to see her. I do have a little more respect, I guess, maybe for her now, because I'm gonna help her. I see where she might need help in certain areas. Just little things, you know. And I'm gonna talk to her first thing tomorrow. I'm gonna be like, look, I'm gonna start doing this. I'm gonna do this. And it's like, anything I can do to make your job easier, I'm gonna do this. Okay? I was so tired Friday, I forgot to get a pizza. That's how bad it was.
That's not like you.
That is not like me. They were asking me questions, and it was like within the last hour before I was clocking out. They were asking me questions, and I'll be honest with you, I don't even know if I remember them all. They weren't like, they were crazy questions. You know, these young kids, they ask all these weird questions, like, you know, who's your bae? Or I was like, what's a bae? And like, what does the abbreviation AO mean? I'm like, in what reference? And like, in a name reference. And I said, what? They said AO. I was like, I don't know. Never heard that before. Does it mean Albert Oppenheimer? I don't know. I mean, maybe I wasn't. I'm so tired I just couldn't process anything or anything. But the last 30 minutes, or really the last 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes, I said, okay, you guys go do this. I'm going to sit down. I'm going to drink a Dr. Pepper and finish my lunch. And this was at close to 2:30. So
See, with us now, in security, it's usually the last hour of the day. It all breaks loose. Somebody's having problems, or you have to go, or escort somebody out of the hospital or something like that.
We stay busy during the day, so, and it does pick up at certain times. So like, we're busy in the morning doing outpatient stuff. We're busy in the morning doing inpatient stuff. Lunchtime rolls around, we get influx of outpatients that are just like walk-ins and add-ons and stuff. And then after lunch, we have all of our afternoon scheduled stuff. And hang on, I gotta think for a minute. It was that bad. I finally told him, like, look, I had a bunch of paperwork that I was catching up on anyway. I was like, you guys go do these, and I'm gonna do this, and finish my lunch, and drink a Dr. Pepper. That's what's going to happen. Okay. And they were like, okay.
Yeah, but sometimes that makes your day go by quicker, you know?
It made my day want to go by. I wanted it to go by even faster than it did. I forgot to get a pizza. That, to me, I think I need a CAT scan at that point on my brain, because if I forget to get a pizza, you know that something is very, very, very wrong. It's been that kind of day, that kind of week, really. And the thing is like, the number one, you know, usually I'm kind of in charge of starting the IVs on the patients for the test, running the machine for the test, screening, the whole stuff. And then the number one tech, she'll do like the post charting, and then, but she will also come out there and assist me when I'm like doing the IVs and stuff like that. Like if I need anything, if I need like extra tape, or if I need, you know, more gauze, more, you know, something like that, or another saline flush, you know, something like that, she'll come out there and be like Johnny on the spot. She'll look at my tray, and she'll be like, okay, he needs this, he needs this, he needs this. Everybody else, since she was gone this week, everybody else, nobody did that. They sat back there on the computers, on their phones, while I'm out here, you know, taking care of the patient. So,
Well, you don't have students right now, do you?
I have one student that came on Wednesday and Thursday. She comes on Wednesday and Thursday. She is a new student, so she's like just not new to us, but she's brand new. This is her first time ever being in a clinical setting, so she's brand new.
Wow.
So normally, you know, naturally, she's just those students, you know, they just kind of fly on the wall type status. You know, they just kind of have to observe a lot of stuff. I've kind of been having her do and let her do stuff that the other techs, they're like, you know, they just do their own thing. You know, they don't bother. I kind of like to teach them. You know, I kind of like to show them the ropes. I kind of like to, you know, let them do stuff that a first year student wouldn't normally do. You know, I would have them sit down, and I'd have them actually do the CT machine part, you know, and all that, and I'd show them what to do, you know, set up the power injection for when we do the contrast studies and saline boluses and all that. Of course, it's all under my supervision, and I'll sign off on all their stuff, you know, when they do that and do their own x-rays, you know, and stuff like that. And yeah. But in a way, again, just not just with the student, you know, because it's a student is a student, you know, they're there to learn, they're you know, they're brand new. But you know, your workers, your coworkers, kind of like, why do I have to babysit? But yeah, I have a lot more respect for the number 1. I'm happy to be the number 2. And it's a big number 2. I wore my snowman ball cap to work all week this last week. And I said, I got this ball cap. None of them recognize it. I was like, this is the snowman's ball cap. They still didn't recognize it. One of them even said, you mean Frosty? I'm like, no, not Frosty the Snowman. This is Snowman from Smokey and the Bandit. It's the exact same ball cap. It's actually made by the same company that did that trucker's cap. And it's the Cat diesel power ball cap. And they were like, I haven't gotten used to seeing you wearing a ball cap. I was like, well, I said, if this week doesn't pan out, I could always become a truck driver now that I have the ball cap. Just hit the open road and stop at all the truck stop diners and, you know.
No, you wouldn't do that.
No?
No. Remember, I was a truck driver for 15, 20 years. You don't want to do that.
Well, it's either that or move to Mexico and become a bullfighter, so. Do the pizza delivery company not have your phone number on speed dial? Just in case of these kinds of these emergencies. Like example, Matt hasn't ordered a pizza. What the heck? Yeah. Well, it's funny you say that, Fuzzy. I went yesterday. Today's Sunday, right? Yeah. I went yesterday after stream at lunch. Just after lunch, kinda. And went and picked up my pizza. And the girl at the window, she was in there and she looked over at the window and my pizza was ready and she had this kind of look like, oh. And she come over to the window and she goes, hey, we didn't see you stop by yesterday. I was like, yeah, that's like, it's been a busy day, busy week. And they said, well, yeah, we know. So I got my pizza.
You know when you walk into there like, Matt, like Norm.
Mm-hmm.
Cheers.
Norm. Yep. Funny, I've only walked in there maybe once or twice. They have, why did I go in there those times? I don't think they had their drive-thru then. That's why I went in there. But now they have a drive-thru, so I never really get out of my car. Pull up there, get our orders. A lot of times we'll order pizza at work, and the girls, you know, they like to order sometimes their own stuff, and we'll get pizzas and stuff. So I'll have multiple orders for under different names. And I'll pick them up, and we'll have pizza for lunch. So some of them have salad, some of them have a pasta, some of them like those. They got this thing. I don't know the official name for it, but I think it's called a dipper. Like a bowl of stuff like cheese and marinara sauce and stuff like that, and you get like the little Parmesan bread bites, and you dunk them in there, you dip them in there. Some of them like that. think this guy is okay on his own, so I'm gonna go grab that bailing contract. At least these bales aren't round. That field over there, that grass field over there next to the whiskey and the brewery over there, they had a contract on that hill over there, and they were all round bales. I had to fish bales out of the creek down here.
Oh, that would have been bad.
Yeah, I mean, they were down here in the water. I had to get them out. So yeah, hoping for a better week this week. It will be better because she'll be back.
So you know those words you're not supposed to say in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, yesterday morning, one of the guards that is now in on my new shift at the new hospital. He goes, "Yeah, I wish something would happen." And right about 1:30, no, 1 o'clock, we had a guy come in. How do I put this? He was very high,
Mm-hmm.
which caused a lot of problems. It got so bad we had you guys have I don't know. Do you have a behavioral unit?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do they have a strap chair or a chair that they strap them in?
We have bed.
Okay. Well, the hospital I'm at now, they have one of those strap down chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it got that point where we had to put them in there. But I was like, man, don't ever say those words.
Yep, we had a first year student one time. We were giving her the grand tour. We went over to the ER, and the nurses, all the ER nurses are like sitting at the desk. And I whispered to the student, I was like, say, sure is quiet. And I said it real quiet to her. And she said, what? I was like, say that. Say, it sure is quiet. And she said it out loud. And I thought them nurses were going to kill her.
Matt.
It was funny because she learned a lesson. Don't say that. But she had to see it firsthand.
Yeah, but that's cruel, man.
I had to show her the cause and effect. I was like, okay, this is why you don't say that word in an ER. You don't say quiet. You don't say, sure is calm. It's been a nice day. You don't say anything to jinx it. You don't say, well, I think it's a full moon. It's going to rain. You don't say any of these keywords to, I guess, bring you bad juju, because the nurses, they know. They know if it rains, if there's a full moon, if it's somebody says it's quiet, or it's been a nice day, you're either saying it because you're gonna jinx them, or saying it because something's about to happen, and they're like, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, they get a little hostile over that.
Yeah, I can't repeat exactly what the nurses say, but it's not
no.
good. Not good.
Those words aren't family friendly.
No. Not stream friendly. Nope. How many bales are out here? These are like the small square bales. Not the small ones, but these are like the smallest big bales. What are they? Not, it's 240, 220, and then what are they, 180?
240, 220, and yes, 180.
Yeah, these are 180s. They're the smallest of the big bale. Yeah, these are definitely not 220. Hello, Bangs. How's it going? Tomcat, how's it going? Did you get your hobby horse? He's adamant about getting a like a hobby horse mod. That it couldn't be like a rideable thing. It'd have to be something that like a wardrobe thing where you could just kind of have the hobby horse and have your character run around and walk around with it. No, he didn't get it.
That'd be kind of interesting.
Yeah. Farming simulator guy walking around with a hobby horse, heading to his tractor. Yeah, that'd be interesting.
I mean, I might question it and see if he wanted to be tested, but
Yeah.
it'd be interesting.
Almost like the Weed Eater mod. Yeah, almost like the Weed Eater mod. Yeah. You could even
That's
put in
how-
the horse whining sound effect.
That's how we need to start one time. Weed eaters, push mowers.
I think there is a Weed Eater in there.
Yeah, I know there was one in 22. I don't know if there's one now.
Maybe that's where I saw it, was in 22. No,
And
there's a real mower.
Yeah. You need to get that little pull behind bale maker.
Oh yeah.
The wooden one.
Have you seen the push baler?
I think that's the one I'm talking about.
It's like a push mower, but it's a baler.
Yeah.
And it does like the little mini. It's like the little mini square baler, but it's like a little mini round baler.
Yeah, and you need to do the challenge with that baler.
No, hashtag never again. Hashtag never again. We did the 100,000 bale challenge. We made 100,000 bales, and that's all I got to say about that. We can always look back and say we did it. It's on video. It's on YouTube.
And I can honestly say we'll never do it again.
Nope. We haven't been doing too much baling on here. Mainly everything's been picked up with the wagons and stuff. We have a baler. The problem is that when you get on a map, and it doesn't matter if it's a standard map, and it doesn't matter if it's a 4X map, when you have fields this size and you produce too many bales, we know what happens. We tested this theory out on back on what was that, the
Elm Creek 4X by Stevie.
Elm Creek 4X by Stevie. Yeah, that one they messed up on, and then they also messed up on, what was the one we did the bale challenge on later on, that continued on with the bale challenge. Prairie something.
Was it Prairie Farms or was it?
It was one of those Tyler maps.
I thought it was the Canadian map.
Oh,
I think.
Needenthal. We had
Yeah.
Needenthal, and then we had Prairie something, Prairie Farms or something like that. It's the same guy that did Frankenmuth and Gira and all them. Taylor, I'm pretty sure it's Taylor Farms. He's actually getting out of the business.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he was slated to release a 4X map that was like all four of his maps. So it would have been that prairie map. It would have been the standard Frankenmuth map, Gira, and I can't remember the other one. He was slated to release that sometime this summer, and he said that he had enough. He said the Giants testing process is what did it. They're so picky about certain things that he's not alone. There's other modders that are getting out of the business as well. So it's the process. I think what they need to do, what Giants needs to do, is come up with their standards. Okay, post what those are, and then if you meet those standards, then okay, we'll pass your mod. But I think what they're doing is like they're making stuff up or coming up with new standards for modders to do, and then modders have to go back and try to change this to what they want. And then when they change it, it's not what they want, and then it's no. The process needs to change. It needs to be cut and dry on the testing process. And I think so far it hasn't been that way. They need to fix what needs fixing because so many of the modders and map makers are getting out of, and that's bad for the console people. A lot of Taylor's maps went to console, but they won't anymore.
Was that and how many months are they behind on testing?
Yeah, they are. They're behind on the testing. Well, the thing is like they say one thing, right? Like we didn't pass your mod because there's already something like that in the mod hub. My thing is like they're passing things, and there's already stuff like that in the mod hub, but they're passing them anyway. I don't understand, and there's some of them that there's no difference in the mods. So and two, they've got people making like crazy, just ridiculous stuff. It's like, why would you need this? Can I not hook up to this?
Like that push baler?
Well, that would be neat. But I've seen stuff come out and I'm like, why? When there's so much else that needs to be, tested and released on the mod hub. All this other, really great stuff is getting backlogged because they're air quote testing stuff that, like, why? Yeah, see, that's the thing. The backlog, it taking so long for them to test it. By the time they get the mod back to the mod author or the map author, uh, Giants has already updated their. They've already released like several updates, and now the mappers and the modders got to go back and change what they've said needs changed to accommodate for the new update. Oh yeah. All right. We got clover there. We've got clover there. We've got nothing there. We've got grass, clover, and alfalfa there. Ooh, 21,000. There's another bell wrapping contract. That's way down south. I'll go do that one though. I'll have to get some more bell wrap. I did that one. I need to go do that cultivating one too. There is a long. No, that's an oat contract. Where is that? Field 77. It's right over there. Yeah, I'll take that one too. I can hit that one when I get done with this one. There's another oat one. Where's that at? 84. It's that one right there. It's actually beside the field that we own there already. How much is that one? 24? Yeah, I'll take that one. Ooh, and then we got a plowing one too. I'll take the plowing one. Hit the button, see if anything else pops up. Nothing is popping. Where am I taking the cultivator? Didn't I have a cultivating one? Maybe I didn't have a cultivating one. Maybe it was that harvesting one I'm thinking of. Well, let me take the plow over there. Good morning, Jacob. How's it going? Is it time? Is it time for a Klondike bar? Need mods? What? Hobby horse time? If you say you have a hobby horse for Farming Simulator 25, you're gonna make Tomcat's day. I'm just saying. Oh, there's that tractor there. I could have just used that tractor. Need to upgrade this plow. Still need to convert the giant chicken mod from 19. What did that? I remember that. What did that do? Was that just replaceable or what? What was that? I do remember that one. You know what? I'm gonna do that later. I'm gonna go grab this guy. It drove. Could do stuff like a tractor. Okay. I do vaguely remember the chicken, the giant chicken. What's the baseball team that has the little golf cart that looks like a baseball and you can drive it around? Somebody needs to mod that for Farming Simulator. You know, we're putting stuff in that we absolutely do not need, but we might as well just do that too. Bring back the giant chicken. So we're plowing. Need to go wrap the bales, and we're harvesting. Okay, let me go wrap the bales. Gotta go get some wrap. Gonna need more than that. All right. And I'm gonna take the road less traveled. Rattle, rattle, yeah. Probably needs a few bolts tightened here and there. Definitely needs a paint job and a wash. We've been busy though. We've been using her for a lot of stuff. 26 hours on it already. Kev Farm Boy, welcome in. Good morning. I'm waiting for some more crops around here that are kind of more, you know, corn, soybeans, barley. Barley specifically because I kind of want to do barley in this area right in here. Because the beer needs barley and water. And then the whiskey needs corn, dried corn, barley, and water. This is where I'm going. Alright. I don't know why I was thinking it was that field down south. It's this field. How much of the map do you have now? Let's go take a look. So everything in green, like the light green. So this big field, these fields, these fields, that field, 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 all of this, that field. two up here by the brewery. And then the clover fields up here. Got a barley field up there too we're going to harvest. Yeah, we're all over the map. Basically, what we're kind of doing is going after the crops that we want. So we're not going to buy fields that, yeah, obviously don't have any crops in them. We're not going to buy any fields that have crops like sugar beets, potatoes, you know, spinach, stuff like that. Stuff we're not into yet. Mainly we're after corn, soybeans, and barley, because those are the productions that we're going to be kind of starting out with. We've already started the soybeans with the soy milk at the dairy, so we bought the dairy and we've got that going. Matter of fact, I need to check on that. Check on, make sure that the... Come on, save. Dairy. Oh yeah, we're still good. It does not use soybeans very fast. This is a great production. And the money that we're making off of soybeans, it's selling year round, but it fluctuates from $2,400 to like $3,400. The lowest price for soy milk is higher than the highest price if we were just to sell the beans flat out. So you're better off doing soy milk. All you need is water, and the water's free. So buy the dairy, get you a tanker to haul some water, and make the soy milk. There's a lot of people in California that want our soy milk from Montana. A lot of the vegetarian communities, I guess. Get in there, Bale. Yeah, a lot of people want the soy milk. And we make the best soy milk in Montana. Fully pasteurized soy milk. Genuine soy milk. No, our economy is always on normal. We don't do easy because that's, you know, too easy. We don't do hard because why? And then, no, we do normal. We've always done normal. We will start on new farmer just to most of the time get the buildings that the map author puts in. Because often when you start in farm manager or start from scratch, you don't get their buildings. And they're not in the map as placeables. So, but we always change our economy to normal. And we've been selling the soy milk. We've been selling silage. Silage has been a big one. We're gonna get into the dried corn very soon. We've got to get into propane to do that. We're gonna get the brewery and get into the beer, barley and water, and then probably the whiskey place too. I think they're the same price. We've got a lot of corn. We planted corn all down south there. We got plenty of corn. A lot of that corn is going to go to fermenting silos, and a lot of that corn is going to go to production. It's going to go... Some of it will be dried, some of it won't. And then there's definitely other productions we can do with corn. You can make corn oil, you can make corn flour, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, this map you started from scratch. Uncle Buford gave you 1.5 million and a 147 and the Copper Homestead. Yep. So far, we have 4 farms of the 6. The update, when the update does come out, it would not break my heart if we were able to liquidate some of the farms. Because really, in my mind, I could see having maybe 3 farms. But 6 is a crowd. So I was like, why is my tractor revving up? But the bell got stuck. I don't know what the specifics are for the update. All I know is that there will be some fixes and some improvements. That's the only thing he said about the update. He's working on the new map. There's a new map that's coded. The code name is Borderland Harvest. Given that code name, I'm kind of just assuming or maybe guessing where it might be. I think it might be on the Canadian border. He has done maps. He did somewhere in Canada. He did that map. He did the Red River Valley map, and that actually sat on the border. So you had Minnesota in part of that map. You had North Dakota in part of that map, and then you had Canada, Manitoba, in part of that map. There actually was like a border crossing and everything on that map. So part of it was in Canada, part of it was in America. Those all came out. I'm trying to remember. Most of those come out on 19, I want to say.
Came in, yeah, 19, and that one you were just talking about.
Yeah.
That came out what?
Late 19.
3 weeks before 22 was going to come out.
Yeah, I think we could have played that map longer had we had more time to play it.
Because that's the first map that I joined you on stream with.
Yeah. If he had brought that over to 22 or something, he released that literally like 3 or 4 weeks before 22 dropped. We did a little bit of time in there, but not enough to really like enjoy the map. Now, Green Valley, Nebraska, that was a fun one. We played that one a lot. Oh, do they have a small capacity? I don't even know what the capacities are. So far, I'm trying to think, what was the most we had? Probably the beans. And the beans, it was close to 800,000. What's the capacity on the in-game silos? Is it 1 million? I bet it's 1 million. Something close to it anyway. We had about 800,000 some odd beans. I want to say 829. And then we took all those to the dairy. And we're making the milk, soy milk. I say a lot of the in-game stuff, like soybeans and barley and all that, we could probably, if we had to, we could build another silo just to hold the in-game stuff, because we would probably want to save like his silos for the special stuff. Dried corn, you know, stuff like that. I'm trying to think, the only custom crops on here really is dried corn and alfalfa and clover, right?
I believe that's it. Yeah.
There's alfalfa and clover. Where is... Where's the dried corn at? Oh, you know what? It wouldn't be on this list. It's not a... You don't harvest dry corn out of the field. That's how tired I still am. You get almost 1 million. Off of 61. We did soybeans down there on... Was that 61 that we bought? The biggest field on the map? Planted it in soybeans again. Yeah, there's 61. So yeah, we were going to do corn down there, so we probably get about 1 million off of there. Yeah, dry corn is a production. I wasn't thinking. It's been a long week. But can you turn around and store your dry corn, take it out of the dryer? Can you store it in the silo? I would imagine that the dryer has a limited capacity in it. It says 1 million liters there. So you can take it out and store it in your silo. Okay, so you can have 1 million in the dryer and then move it around to your silo. We're definitely going to get into that after probably this winter. After we get through the harvest. Because we got a lot of corn and we're gonna buy some more cornfields. May do that here in just a minute. 993,000 liters of corn. Wow. Yeah, well, we got the 800,000 some odd liters of soybeans. I don't think we had just that field. We had some other soybean fields. We had some down south, so that includes those fields too. We took all the beans from 61. We took all the beans from basically all the little fields that we had down there and stored them at the Brown farm. And then I moved them up to the dairy when we bought the dairy. Hey, this would be a nice farm to kind of have and work at. This farm, you can see the town up north, and then you look at this beautiful view you got. Look at that. You can look out over all your farmland. And see the other town, kinda, off in the distance there. This would be an awesome farm to have. We might buy this one at some point soon. I've always wanted a mash farm. Everything olive green. Harvesters olive green. Tippers olive green. Everything will be mash colored. Maybe that's what we'll do up here instead of, something else. Dude, I saw those birds shadow on the ground. I was like, ooh, it's coming up behind me. Thought it might be the chicken cult. Yeah, we stay kind of realistic. We've got some Stevie mods that are tuned up. He's tuned up some mods for us. Some of them go just a hair faster. Some of them hold just a little bit more. But for the most part, we don't just go overly crazy. Yeah, Stevie, he's brought back a lot of tractors that nobody else has brought back to the game. Tractors and harvesters from the previous farming simulators. The T9 New Holland is in there. Nobody's brought that back. That hadn't been back in a while. Got the little Fiat. The older Steyr. A lot of older stuff. Am I done? I am done. All right, let me go check on the plow. Still going. Looks like the harvester is still going. Are you driving the harvester now?
No, I'm just kind of riding along.
Okay.
Everything's picked up now.
Okay. Take a look at all that stuff going on down there. So everything is active. We can activate pretty much everything here except the chaff, which we don't have. We will have chaff soon. Nothing at that one. Got clover there, and then we've got alfalfa and clover here. Need to activate the alfalfa. There we go. All right. Well, tell you what, we'll go run around. Well, maybe I'll take this tractor. We'll wash it. It needs a wash and a paint job. And some fuel. Yeah, you can go up to 240. I don't know that we're going to go that high with those. Our trucks, right now, the trailers are 240. Some of those you can go up to 480 though. He just released Mod Pack 18. It had a lot of harvesters in it. So he released the his version of the Dominator, the Cloth Dominator. That one goes from 75 to 60,000. I know there's some cloth stuff that other cloths. There's another cloth one he just released. The Deutzfahr from Farming Simulator 22. He just released that one. That one goes 85 to 30. We got a lot of stuff from him here. The 770 from him will go up to 120. And then you got the bigger stuff down here. Oh yeah, the old TX32. This was the starting combine in Farming Simulator 19. It goes up to 30. And then he brought the Rostelmash harvesters from Sosnovka. That's where those were introduced. Sosnovka. Yep, lots of stuff from Stevie. We like his stuff too. We've played Stevie mods for a while. Yeah, the 18 release just came out. Came out last night? Either last night or Friday night. I know that all of his mod packs, when you install them, make sure you install them in order. Because he'll do updates to the other stuff that he's already released in the new mod pack on some things. So when I put in the mod pack 18, it replaced some other stuff from previous mod packs that he has. So make sure you replace the file that's there so you get the updated version. Probably fixing some stuff. Alright. We got this cornfield. I'm gonna see if we can get that. Decent sized cornfield. This would be a good one to put the forage harvester in. How much did I say that one is? $279 for that one. We'll take it on up. We got several hired guys out there. All right, so let's get that cornfield. It is fully fertilized. Yep. All right, I can see us making this cornfield after we've cut the corn. Planting more grass up here because it'll be right next to our grass field over here. Like right across the little road here. Alright, let's see what else we can get. We got the barley fields. We're still kind of saving for the big soybean field. We got one more big soybean, the boot field, we'll call it. Gonna sell some silage back, do these contracts, make some money. Is there anything else we can get right now? Maybe this cornfield. There's another cornfield down here. Fully fertilized. Go visit that. Oh no, I'm out in the middle. So yeah, this would be a nice one to have. not that expensive either. It's like 88. Yeah, 88 grand. Okay, got that one. Yeah, there's a plowing contract complete. There's 17 grand back to the bank. We're about done with that one. We've got a couple more harvesting ones after that. Probably go hit that field 67 over there. It's 29 grand just like the other field we're doing. And then another one for 24. The Steiger 715. Do we have that one? I bet we do. I mean, we don't own it, but we probably got it in here.
I'll be back.
Okay. Let's see. Start from the bottom. We got that one. I bet it's this one. So yeah, it's the tracked version of the new one. Stevie-fied. Definitely see a bump in horsepower with these. Got the Rostel mash there. Got the Challenger from him. Got, of course, the T9 down there. That one. Got that one from him. That's the wheeled version of the Versatile. Got the Steiger there. Yeah, there's several things from him here. Got the 9R, 8R. Got the 9RX from him. The only one here, right, that's not from him. This one is not from him. This one, I think this might be Sid's, but I can't confirm that. Got a lot of cloth stuff from him. Got another Challenger there. A couple more Challengers here. Got the old quad track. This is the one, probably the iterations from all the previous farming simulators. You can customize that one as well. It's got the old design. Got the Magnum. He did release some big buds. Got that one there. These other ones are not his. Yeah, most of these are edited by Stevie, except for these. These came from the Plains and Prairie pack up here, and then you get into the in-game stuff. So yeah, we've got quite a bit of Stevie stuff. I like that he's putting in the older tractors, not just the large tractors, but you go look at medium tractors. You got the Valtra, which we don't really use the Valtras. I might even take those out. I got the Schluter. Where's the old Steyr at? Got the Lamborghini. That just came out in the 18. He did redo the 7810 and the 4755. Got the JCB from him. This is the TW35 Ford that this does not have a fuel trigger, unfortunately. You can get this tractor, but you cannot fill it up. So when you run out of gas, you're out of gas. It's kind of like the equipment at the shop. He redid the Fiat. Got some Deutschfahr from him. Looking for the old Steyr. Maybe that's under small tractors. Yep, there it is. So this is the old Steyr. I can't remember which one we got this in, but I remember this old Steyr. Kind of like the Fiat that we got almost. Got the rigid track from him. Another Kubota from him. A lot of these are from the Mod Hub too, so. There's the older 1300 Fiat from him. Remember having this one. I think it was 19 we had this one. 19 or 17. That's it for all the Stevie ones. All right. So we're just about done down there. Done with the plow. Alright, so we bought that field. Need to roll this one. And what I might do, I might bring in we bought the front of the Kongs, how do you say it, Kongs Killed? I just call them the Kong mowers. We bought the front mower for that. We might buy the rear mowers for that pack, for that setup. And then use those to mow the meadow grass around here. Because, I mean, when you look at the width, yeah, what do we call it? Mozilla. That was great and all. But need really something more practical, and that one will row it. With Mozilla, it did not. So you had to take your rake down there and mow and row it up. This one right here. Kong's Killed. Kong's Killed. I don't know how you say it. I just call it the Kong. So we got the front mower. The rear part is $149. Wow, that's expensive. But it rows it up too, and it's 12.3 meter width. We do have the Vicons. Those are 10.2 meter width. And cheaper. Wow. 21, and it's funny that the front mower for that one is 15. Front mower for that one is 21. The rear mower for that one is 149.5. And the rear mower for that one is only 55. That's interesting. I want to say that these came from Hispano, but I don't know if they both did or if one of them is actually Giants. They might have both come from Hispano. I don't know. Hispano's been doing some great mods, though. He's been really pushing them out on the mod hub. Fortunately, he's getting through. They're, I guess, testing his mods and getting them out. So, all right. What do we got? Still watching the harvest down here. Yeah, I'm tabbing. He's not quite full yet. Where are we taking that? That's going to Lone Pine Grain Company. I'm pretty sure that's probably going to be down south there. Yep, it's right there. It's just across the road from this one. I've been taking a lot on these harvesting contracts like that to the Agricore, Montana. So this one's right across the road from there. Lone Pine Grain Company. I wonder if that's named after the Back to the Future mall. Because you know it was the Twin Pines Mall at the beginning of the movie. But at the end of the movie, you know, in the movie, he ran over one of the pine trees and killed one of them. So it became, instead of the Twin Pines Mall, it became the Lone Pine Mall.
Sorry.
It's funny because when you see him skate up to the parking lot at the beginning, it's Twin Pines Mall, and then you see him run up at the end of the movie, it's Lone Pine Mall. Alright, is that it for this field?
That's it.
Alright, I'm going to run this down there to the Lone Pine Grain Company. 67, field 67. It's over there south of the Pac-Man field. And I'll meet you over there. I don't think this little bit in the corner will matter. Westbound and down, loaded up and trucking. We're gonna do what they say can't be done. We got a long way to go, and it's short time to get there. I'm westbound, just watch this farm truck run. You ever sing that song when you were a truck driver, old man?
No, I mean, I listened to it on the radio.
Never just sing along with it?
Yeah, once in a while. I don't, like, sing it out loud now, but...
Yeah. What was your CB handle?
Beetle.
Beetle. Cool. I am sure that I had one back in the day, but I do not for the life of me remember it. I remember John's, ironically, though. I remember John's CB handle.
Didn't know he had one.
Well, I think he uses it primarily for American Truck Simulator. So it might not be, I don't know, maybe if it's not his official CB handle or, but once upon a time, I do believe he was a well water. Somebody can correct me on that if I'm wrong.
Well, it's just like when I played airsoft. The guy, how I got the nickname Old Man is when we were playing airsoft and these kids forgot my name.
Oh.
So one guy just screamed out, "Hey, Old Man!" I turned around and I said, "What do you want?"
And the rest is history.
The rest is history.
Huh. Alright, Lone Pine.
See, if I had to give you a CB handle, it'd be probably something like, just to go based on what I know about you.
Pizza something?
It would have to do with something with pizza, or you'd be like X-ray.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be something kind of like cool, but not, funny in a way. We had this one guy when I was running dump trucks. He was so slow. We just all started calling him Turtle. And that's how he got his nickname. Or handle.
Turtle. I'm just gonna go ahead and sell it. Little extra bonus there. No, Sally Field was Frog. Smoking in the minute.
Yeah, hers was Frog.
Did Junior ever have a CB handle? Remember Junior?
I don't think he ever had it. I think it would have been like Junior. I have never heard him on even get on the CB. I can't remember. I think they played in 3 different movies, didn't they?
Yeah, Junior. I think Junior was in all 3 of them.
I think so.
I know Jackie Gleason was in all 3 of them, and Jerry Reed was in all 3 of them. And then Burt Reynolds made like a kind of cameo appearance at the end of the 3rd one, but the 3rd one was really weird.
That's the one with the elephant, right?
No, that's the 2nd one.
Oh, that's the 2nd one.
The 3rd one was the one with they had this plastic fish and they roped it to the top of the Firebird. And it wasn't the, older Firebird. It was one of the more 80-ish Firebirds. That one was really weird. I don't even think you can watch that anywhere. If you have it on DVD, then that's probably the only place you can see it. Yeah, that one was probably a money grab. You're probably right. Most of your sequels are, though. Just the studios wanting more money. They're bringing out the Toy Story 5. Gonna be about they switched at the end of Toy Story 3. Toy Story 3 was like the perfect ending for me, because it ended the Andy series. And Andy, was, Woody and all them were Andy's toys for the first three movies. But he gave them away. He was going off to college. He gave them away to Bonnie, the little girl, and she, in the fifth one, on the fourth one, they go on like a road trip and they end up like at a carnival and stuff like that. And Woody finds Bo Peep, blah blah blah. Kind of a weird movie. One of those. Again, it's a sequel. It's the fourth one and it's weird. But the fifth one, allegedly, the plot is going to be Bonnie using. I guess they couldn't use the like an iPad because that'd be like probably copyright or something. But she has this thing called like a frog pad or something, and she uses that more than she plays with her toys. So it's gonna be like the toys against the electronic devices. So, and apparently Woody does come back. He stayed with Bo Peep in the fourth one. Yeah, but for me it kind of ended. Number 3 ended real well. Kind of like The Walking Dead. And you might be saying, where are you going with this? You were just talking about Toy Story, now you're going kind of like The Walking Dead. The Walking Dead, for me, ended at the end of Season 8. You could watch the entire series from Season 1 to the end of Season 8, and if you finish watching it at the end of Season 8, it just ended perfectly. You really didn't need to continue on because Season 9, there were major casting changes to the series. The whole introduction, the theme song, and really, well, maybe not the whole theme song, but the whole introduction theme, all that changed. And then the plot just kind of just went off, You only saw the first one, the first season of The Walking Dead, or the first Toy Story movie? Maybe I shouldn't have switched gears that hard. Oh, the first Toy Story. Yeah, I remember I was, I was maybe 10 years old when the first Toy Story movie came out. I just thought it was the coolest thing ever because, up to that point, all the movies were like the 2D drawn out animated movies. And when they brought Toy Story out, it was like the first computer animated movie. Wow, you're young. Yeah, well, I don't feel it, but I guess I am a little bit. Because, Toy Story came out in 1995. The first one did. Then the sequel came out in either the late 90s or very early 2000s. I want to say it was the late 90s. Like 99 or maybe 2000, I don't know.
That makes me feel old.
I'm telling you. That was 30 years ago that the first Toy Story movie came out. Yeah, Toy Story 2 is 1999. Were you young men back then?
1999,
95.
95.
Not old
I
man.
already, yeah, I already graduated high school and living out on my own, and I'm a little older.
Yeah, I hit 40 and it's like I didn't go over the hill. I fell off a cliff when I turned 40.
And 40 is still considered young.
I thought 40 was like the top of the hill.
No, 50 is top of the hill.
Okay. I've always been told 40 was over the hill.
No.
I guess it depends on maybe where you're at. Or maybe like how old you are. So if you're 50 something, 60 might be over the hill for you. I guess it depends on how young you feel, maybe. Oh, my neighbors are gone. They had a big yard sale yesterday. I was sitting here streaming and watching them have a big yard sale. I was ready to open the door and shout, "Get off my lawn!"
Oh my god.
People were parking like in front of my house, which that's okay, you know, but if they were going to pull in my driveway and park and walk across my lawn, I was so going to do it. Nobody did. There was one car, I think they bought half their stuff. They would take stuff to their car and then come back and get another bit, and then take stuff to the car and come back and get a little bit more. Twitchy said don't get him started talking about being old.
Well, I hate to say this, but I think Twitchy's older than I am.
Yeah, he's older than both of us. Yeah, he's
Then Dirt.
I don't know about Dirt, but he's up there. I wish they would let us sleep in the truck cabs, you know.
I think there was a mod for that, wasn't there? Or was that in 22? There was a mod for that.
It might have been in 22. This has got a really nice interior.
Yeah, I never liked Internationals though.
Really?
No, they didn't ride very good. I mean, if you ever decide to get out of radiology and you want to become a truck driver, you need to drive a Volvo.
Volvo.
Oh yeah, they're Cadillacs or trucks.
Say we've got a Volvo in here. Oh look, another plowing contract.
Read Twitchy's in chat.
He saw the Big Bang. That's how old he is. when I read the first part, he said I saw the Big Bang. I'm thinking Theory, the show. Say, I remember when that one started airing. Oh, I gotta go across the river. Okay. For some reason, I was thinking that field was right over here. Hello, Paul. How's it going? Oop. Got another plowing one. Right over yonder. Just gotta keep pressing the button. Oh, look. Cultivating ones. Yeah, they're not that great. Yeah, another plowing one. That one's actually pretty decent. May take that other plow over there and start that one. More stuff spawning. Ooh. The button works. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on that one. I do think I am closer to this other one down here, though. Whoa, oh, there's a train. Ooh, I had to put that one in a ditch. That was almost really bad. I didn't see the arms, I was looking that way. Yeah, I beat the train down here. Okay, I don't know what kind of bug that was, but it scared the absolute you know what out of me. It's outside, and it sounded like high pitch squealing. There it is again. Can you hear it? Hear it? Probably can't hear it unless I'm talking.
I can't hear it.
Very, very high pitched. It's almost like somebody blowing on a whistle. So I guess the only fields left that we're kind of interested in is going to be the boot. Field 46. And beans. Thing is like this one is 759. This big cornfield over here, that's 1.4 million. I don't know that we'll be able to afford that. We might. I mean, it's July right now. We'll have some silage to sell. We'll make money from the soy milk. It's possible. How I get this map? Number one, Travis, are you on PC? Let me ask that first. He's probably typing it out, maybe, if he's still there. Are you on PC? Yes, you are. Okay. So go to this link. That is DJ Modding's itch.io. That's where you can download the map at right there. Keep in mind that It's a very detailed map. It's a 4x map. If your computer is not of decent specs, it might run hard. You may have to turn your quality down, but just keep in mind that it is a very detailed map. Just kind of fly around the map, I'd say, first, and load in your shaders and then go from there. Which semi-tractor do you use? We're using the one from the Plains and Prairie Pack. The trucks. We're using that one right there. The LT Series International. This was the first one we bought just because the Plains and Prairie Pack had just come out. So this one was kind of on our radar. Probably should invest in some more soon. How does it steer? It actually does pretty good. It's not bad. It handles pretty good. One that steers well. Old man vouches for Volvo. So I guess and probably something like that. Oh look, there's some Stevie ones in here too. There's a Volvo from Stevie. I've always liked the this one. I think this one's from Stevie, but I've always liked this one. Kind of that old school looking. I think they released it. Yeah, they released it in game too. So it's the Superliner. Got that American livery. America. Alright, so he's plowing away. He's plowing away. And then we are harvesting away. Alright, y'all. Well, it has become that time. We'll see y'all again. Make sure you go to the YouTube channel. Subscribe over there. There will be videos that are not done on Twitch here over there on YouTube. And these videos will go live over there as well, starting probably tomorrow. But yeah, make sure you hit the follow button here so you know when we go live next time. And then make sure you subscribe over there. Have your notifications turned on so you know when the videos go up. I try to put them out. I've been trying to put them out at 7 a.m. just like we stream on the weekends. So we stream at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, Saturday and Sunday. I've been trying to put the YouTube only videos out at 7 a.m. During the week. So there will be more. Trust me. Believe me. Okay. billions and billions and no, it will happen. Okay. So until the next time, guys, enjoy the rest of your weekend. If I don't see you before July 4th, have a happy 4th of July. Stay safe. Remember, do not close your fist around a firecracker. It will blow it up, okay? I've seen it. It happens. I work in the ER. Do not hold fireworks in your hand. Make sure that they are a good distance from you. It's not worth losing your controller fingers and hands and stuff, and you know, all that good jazz. So enjoy your 4th of July. Happy birthday, America. Until the next time, remember you reap what you sow. Old man, thanks for joining.
No problem.
We'll see y'all in the next one. Have a good one.